Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to revisit a lot of issues as far as all the stuff you're seeing out there. Oh, if you don't move in this way and you don't can't do this, then you're going to be this and that. Let's review what are the really basic most important things. So, starting out with, let me back up here, and you will be using a chair. You will be getting in the floor. You could even do this on your bed. See, if I had somebody that couldn't get in the floor, I'd put them in their bed and I would go from all fours and then we'd go from there. Got it? Okay. So, um, so one of the most important things you got to understand about all this stuff that you're seeing, as far as the frail elderly and the frail senior, if you can't move in this way, then listen, if you've lived some life and you have a couple of joints replaced and or you have arthritis diagnosis, spinal stenosis, osteoporosis, you have some joint issues, this one's for you. There's a few things you need to be able to do. Yes, and one of them is to stand properly, okay? Some of us, especially if you have scoliosis, it's a constant moment by moment lining up. Yes, because you have this constant pull, the constant drag to lean and bend and forward. So you need to be moving in all kind of ways, and I'm going to hit at least a half a dozen today that are important for you to do. So that said, I'm going to just step wide, come back. I'm going to step wide, I'm going to come back. I'm going to step forward. I'm going to come back. I'm going to step forward and come back. Okay. And when you're stepping forward, I hit this really a lot on Monday's class. But this stepping forward and being able to bend and come down to the floor or approach the floor is an important move, because I'm here to tell you, I don't care who you are going to find yourself possibly falling, or you're going to voluntarily be in the floor and you got to get yourself up. Okay. And some people might say, well, I'm so far beyond that. I'm like, well, let's say you fell and you have hurt your, or broken, or not broken, but you've hurt something, a joint, and it's very difficult for you to move up. Okay, see this? See this? The minute I do this, some of you have leaned in and rounded in. And we don't want to do that right now, okay? Because we want to create integrity in our postural lineup. So I'm here by the chair as a safety precaution, because you need to, that always is helpful to be able to know that you can lean on something, okay? You can even do this move if you were having trouble with your balance, as I've said before, with a pole, okay? That's spelled P-O-W-L. I know it. I love to drive my teachers crazy. See this? See this? If I wanted to go on down now and I had a replaced knee, a replaced hip, I had a delicate back, I'm struggling with keeping my rib cage up, keeping my postural integrity as I drop. You start there first, okay? So don't think you have to go down and do all of these things that you're seeing online and everywhere else. Those people don't have your issues. And we got issues, don't we? So see, I switched. So this is a very important move to be able to execute. But as you're doing it as a training, you see how I'm lowering myself down? I have this here if I need it. I'm taking a big deep breath, but what am I not doing? I'm not leaning and hunching in here as I go down. Oh, like that. No, no, no. I'm staying upright. And I'm taking you through some of these basic moves kind of as a warm-up because I'm not overdoing them right now. See how I'm coming down? This is my replaced hip. This is my replaced knee. I have to be strong enough here and in my hip and here in order to get myself down. Okay? Now, if you're able to make it all the way down, good for you. What if you couldn't? Then at least approach this. And then say rib cage up, and then come on up. Take a big deep breath. Realign yourself. Okay, when I say realign, what am I talking about? Many of you have done a little test that I've given for posture. You stand yourself up against a door or a wall. So see, I'm gonna, as I'm talking through this, I'm gonna bend this back knee. This is my replaced knee, replaced hip. And I'm gonna come down. I'm barefooted. But as I come down, I'm asking myself, okay, am I getting out of my postural, my good neutral posture? See, I'm gonna go on down if I can. If I can't, go down as far as you feel like you're going, I'm losing it. Stop there, take a breath, and then come up. Now, if you can go on down, see, I'm keeping that leg back there because I already went down on the other knee. And I'm going through these ranges as a warm-up. See how I'm sliding that back leg down? And I make it all the way down. This is my replaced knee, this is my replaced hip. But here's the thing. My ear, my shoulder, and my hip stay in line. Okay, now I'm gonna come up. Now you could come up if you had the strength and if you had the joints with no hands. However, if you put your hand lightly on a surface, take a big breath through your nose, line yourself up, push through the feet. Push through the feet. Give yourself just a little bit of a press and come up. Okay, that's one of the moves that you need to be good at. And if you need to use a little bit of a chair to help you on up, that's okay. All right? Now, go to the side again, bring it in. Go to the side and bring it in. Okay? So this is the side lunging. So lunges are a big deal. If you need to give yourself some stability, get yourself a pole. In fact, I'll get me one right here. Here's my pole. I have like 3 or 4. I think you can see this one the best. And see, as I was walking back here, Mac is right here looking at me. I don't know if you see him. Tripping over little dogs or big dogs is a big factor in a lot of falling accidents. And if they move and get in front of you, you have to react, right? Right. So I can either use this or not use this. So I'm going through some basic moves to help you understand and realize, come on, get up here, come on. What you need to constantly be able to do maneuver-wise with your body and be strong enough. A side lunge, and here I push my butt back. See, my toes are forward. I use this if I need it. My toes are forward, but the minute I bend my knee here, right there, you gotta push your butt back. Okay, if you push your butt back and your ear, shoulder, and hip is still in line, so you can go quite deep. And so a side lunge is kind of an important thing to do, but you need to do it effectively. So I'm shifted. This leg doesn't have a lot of pressure, so you're getting stretch. But as you go down, you got to keep your chin tucked on. Go right on down as far as you feel you can. So you'll feel a little stretch here. You'll feel this kicking right here, but your butt's pushed back. But here's the deal. I'm lined up, okay? I'm not hunching and doing funny things with my back and my neck and my head, okie dokie? So as I'm stepping here, I'm going to shift into the other side. So I'm going to bend. This is going to be straight. I'm going to use this if I need to, but I'm going to turn to the side now so you can see. You can see if you can catch me. Okay. So if I came into the room and I had you do this move, I would be focused right here. Okay. For you. I'm going to go down as far as I can. This is my hip replace side. This is my knee replace side. And I probably won't go as far, but can I do it effectively? What does that mean? When I'm pressing into here and I push back, I want to use these muscles right here, okay? And I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing this, and, you know, I'm not shoving my knee way out over my toe because my butt's pushed back. You got it? And you come down as far as you feel you can, but you keep your chin tucked. That's what I'm talking about in postural integrity as you're moving through some of these ranges. Okay, so the other thing that I capitalize on that is very important, and we're going to go turn like this. We're going to get our shoulders readied up. And so this is a really good thing to do. If you have a tricky shoulder, see, I'm going to swing my leg back and forth just like this. I'm going to maintain my neutral posture. And when I say neutral posture, that doesn't mean like really getting your back flat right now. Sometimes you'll hear me say that, but I'm meaning you keep your back extended. You have a natural curve, okay? So if you're having trouble keeping your elbows elevated so that when you do your pole, your elbow is right here. See, elbow is right here at the shoulder level, and you go back and forth easily. See, like this, and see, like this. And I'm swinging the leg back and forth. I'm going into a tiny bit of a lunge right here, and I'm keeping my elbows elevated. And we're going to go straight from this. And if you're not careful when you do this, instead of going to side, like you're working a pool stick, you're going to be bending and flexing your wrist. Try not to do that. Okay, yeah, my elbows are still here. My shoulders are down. My rib cage is up. I'm breathing when I breathe in through my nose. I can't keep my mouth shut because I can't keep from talking. I've told you that before, that my husband told me to breathe through my nose a lot. Okay, here we go. Here we go. See here? See right here? I don't want you to do this. I want you to go side to side with your wrist, just like you were hanging on to a pool stick, but I don't want you to bend your wrist right now. Okay, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to stand here neutrally. I'm going to keep my elbows right here. I'm going to take my other leg, come here, bend it just a little, but don't bend forward from your waist. Stay upright. And you come here, and you come here. See how my wrists are moving side to side? Yeah, and then I come back, and then I come forward, and then I come back. So I'm just a split second. See, a split second, I'm on one foot by itself. And I'm swinging from side to side, and my wrists are going from side to side. They are not going, they're not flexing and extending. They're going side to side, kind of in a transversus type of a motion for them. Turning, side to side. Keep your elbows right at your shoulder level, not above. See, a lot of people will do a little cheater move, and they'll go up here like this, and they'll go, oh, I just can't do that, I just can't do that. No, they need to be right, floating right here. And I'm keeping my shoulders down. Every time my leg swings, I say shoulders down. I say rib cage up. I check my wrists. I check my elbows, side to side, side to side. If you're struggling with your upper body right now, especially through your shoulders, because we've held our arms up quite a while, Kathy knows exactly how many. Then that's where you start. You don't start doing a lot of really hard stuff that you might be out of good postural position in order to do the hard thing. Stay in postural, neutral posture while you're doing this. Okay, keep your shoulders down. Say rib cage up, keep your shoulders down while you're doing this. Just two more, just two more. Stay with me, stay with me. And then come back and come down. How do you feel? Don't answer that. Okay, so here again, see this side to side motion? So what's happening again? See, we're a split second, we are on one leg, right? So I'm already have done several moves that's just kind of functional moves that put you in a one-legged stance position. So when you push it to a training modality, you hold that position. So you could do it here. So every time I get on the supported leg, your knee has to be soft. It's got to be soft for you to engage those muscles. Say rib cage up. Okay, now slow her down. Now start to bend the knee and just release your toe. Don't lift your leg from your knee or anything. All I want you to do is lift your toe right there. See, off the ground, and you're gonna be trying to find balance. If you hold it, take a big breath, shift, say rib cage up, shoulders down, release that toe. Right now, rib cage up, and then you put the foot down when you want to. You can count, you can say, you can go by seconds. I would love it to see people in a shifting to side position. I'd love for you to be able to stay up here on purpose for at least 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds start with. See, I just have my toe here. If I need it, I'll go back in there. My knee here is soft. I can't emphasize that. My rib cage is up. My chin is tucked. I'm really pushing out here with the powell. And then I come down when I want to. Then I shift to the other side, soften up your knee, say rib cage up, drop my chin, release that toe, just release the toe. And in your other foot, you don't want to be scrunching too much. You want to keep those toes splayed. So this is my very unstable side because this is the hip replaced. And those of you with double hips replaced, this is a big challenge for you to do it correctly. Okay, so you keep your knee soft. You're reaching here. See how I'm just breathing through my nose, dropping my shoulders, rib cage up, and then you put that foot down when you want to. Okay, so that's one of the steady functional moves that you need to be able to do. Standing on one leg like this is great. Okay, see, it's very close. It's very close to the ground. But then if you bring that knee up, and see, I have my bar. It's right there if I need it. If you bring that knee up to 90 degrees, I'll ask you this. Is your tummy tight, number one? Is your knee soft right here, number two? Rib cage up, drop my shoulders. If I need this, I'll put it down. I'll try to really stay up here at 90 degrees right here at my hip hinge. Take a big breath through your nose. Bend your knee, bend your knee, bend your knee. When you start getting off balance, don't lock that knee. Bend it. Come down on your center of gravity. Okay, switch legs. All right. And again, my goal would be for anybody coming in regularly to be able to hold a one leg position stance with their leg at a 90 degrees. And it's at first, you're not going to be able to do that maybe, but it all depends on what issues you got going on. Okay. Maybe you have knees replaced and hips replaced. Maybe you've got terrible feet. Maybe your back is giving you fits. Okay. So start right here. See how I'm tapping my little toe there? And I keep my knee soft. That's the first two things. Then you breathe through that nose. You have your pole here if you need it. Try to stay in that kind of a one-legged stance position, and you'll have to be making all kinds of body adjustments. It's called proprioceptive muscles, okay? Proprioceptive centers. It's in your brain, all right? It has to do with your eyesight. It has to do with your hearing. It has to do with your muscles. All of that. Take a big breath. Little by little, bring that knee up. And if you start to lose balance, soften the knee. Put the pole down. Bring her back up. Okie dokie. Tighten. So if I was to put any action in my upper body in play, it would throw me everywhere. So this is where you start with keeping balance. Start with keeping balance. Okay? Somebody's coming up the road. Sorry. Ruby, no. Hey, no. Sorry. Go here, go breathe. Oh dear. This is what she was doing at the dog kennel the other day. Okay, so see, we're on this leg. So I can just tell you, because of my own issues, it is so much harder for me to stay balanced on this leg than this leg, okay? So put that into your cognition. They'll stop in just a minute. Sorry about that. This is why I tell people, don't ring the doorbell and get the dogs involved. Here we go. Okay, we're resting now. So see, we're going back to one-legged stance again. And here would be my question to you. Other than, can you hear me over the dogs barking? When you bring your leg, your foot off the ground, all you have to do is lift the toe, okay? So this is not only really good for your balance, but it's really good for that ankle and that foot. So just see, bring it up, ask yourself, is my knee soft when I put pressure? Don't lock it. Drop your shoulders and get that toe lifting. Now, as you're doing that, you're tightening in your tummy. Yes? Yes. So this is where you start. So if you're having fits with your balance, instead of trying to do some really out there kind of moves, getting up off the ground with not using anything and that kind of a thing, and that's great if you can, but I'm dealing with real people with real issues, and I'm trying to help us manage things. And you start with these kind of motions. You bring that toe up, you tighten in, you soften your knee. And if I'm not being aware of that, when I'm doing this very, what you'd think, simple move, do you know what I do? And I know it. And that's why I fight against it, because this hip is replaced. When I go here, if I don't keep my knee bent and rib cage up, I overlean, because then I use the stronger muscles. What happens to the weaker muscles? yeah, they get weaker. So really think about what I'm telling you here. And some of you with both hips replaced and a knee replaced or two, use this and stay straight, okay? Stay in neutral spine. See that? Okay. So I wanted to go over this. Ruby, you got to be quiet. Ugh. Oh dear. Okay. So now I'm going to come down here. Okay, now this next move is an important one. Okay. You can put your hands on the chair, put your pole down, put them on your knees, whichever way you want to do it. But we've been staying in very extended position now since the first of class. Okay. You got to give your spine a break, especially if you're somebody that is really struggling with hunched over shoulders, forward head problems, you know, poor posture. When you put your hands here or you put your hands here, you take the pressure off the back. That's when you take your upper back into a C position, like this. See this? I'm pushing back, and I'm lifting my shoulders to my ears. And I'm opening my upper back, dropping my chin, and then I push back. So I go from hips pointing horizontally to hips going up vertically. Drop my head, really round your shoulders to go back and forth to pushing the butt back and really dropping through the spine because you want your hip bones pointing forward now, okay? And then you turn, tuck the tail, and you go into that C position. And you can do it with having your hands on a chair. My knees are soft. Push the butt back now. So this move right here is the move that if you learn to do it properly, will keep you out of a lot of trouble with a back that's a bit wonky, okay? So tuck your chin, soften your elbows, push your shoulders down when you're pushing your butt back, then squeeze the butt together and bring your shoulders to your ears. Round your shoulders, round your upper back. And you do that anywhere from 3 to 6 times. And you hold it. So you're really pulling the shoulders to the ears, soften the elbows. You can do it all by yourself. Or if you're out walking and your back is tightening up on you, do this move. And then I would say put a little twist on it. Here's the twist. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to turn to the side and drop your shoulder. See how I'm dropping? See, I'm trying to bring my shoulder down here. My knee is bent, coming down here, just like that. Then I come to center, and then I push the butt back, and I try to drop the shoulder down to the chair and look up. Okay? Take a big deep breath. Come to center. You're pushing back, and you might do it twice. See how I'm coming right here? And I'm just bringing my shoulder down to the chair with my knees soft. Bring my chin, tuck my chin in, and then I come to center. So you can do it twice on either side. Just push your shoulder like you're trying to come down and touch the chair. And then you come to center. Okay, so after you've done that, find yourself a door frame, okay? Anywhere, a door frame where you can hang on to it, a pole. You know, if you had, like a lot of times at parks, there's a swing set or there's a jungle gym, grab you a pole. Okay, here's my pole. It's right here. It's not moving, okay? Push your butt back. Drop your chin. Really dig your heels in and really push the butt back. And then turn and turn and turn and turn and then push back and just hang out there. Just push back. And if you don't have like a solid something to hang on to, like a door frame, a door, then you can't pull back quite as hard, but you can still do it at like your chair. You put your hands here and just push back. You won't be able to pull as hard because you'll pull the chair over, but you just push back and then you come back, okay? So those moves are very important moves to be able to do. Another thing that is, and I'm trying to focus on better mobility. And I'm trying to focus on the common sense. There's about 6 of them. I'm going to go, there's more. I've covered about 3. Single leg standing, absolutely. The lunge, being able to handle a lunge and go down to the floor. And we'll do that again, getting down on the floor. But take a tea towel. I know you have your tea towels all around you. And just put it at the base of your neck, right here, right here. And pull down as you drop your chin and you pull it back. So you're pulling down and you're pulling back. So that means your rib cage is really lifting. So it's a push-pull. See, I'm pulling down and I'm pushing the back of my head back against that lever there, that tea towel. And you can hang in that position for as long as you want. When you release it, if you did it right, oh my goodness, it will feel so much better because so much pressure, we put so much pressure on our necks, we don't realize it. So it's that pulling back, and it's a simple tea towel. It could be a shirt, a t-shirt. It could be, you know, even if you have a stiff band, okay? Something like that, very important. Okay. Now, I did a lot of pad standing the other day. I may do some here in a minute. And if you need to, some of you are recovering from knee replacements, and kneeling on your knee is still very tender. So I'm just going to encourage you to do whatever you need to make it a soft landing, but you have to kind of keep looking toward your locomotion. Can I get into the floor and get back up? So standing on one leg, yes. Doing various kinds of lunges, yes. Keeping your neutral posture, yes. Getting into the floor and getting up out of it, yes. So if this kind of a move gives you trouble in your hip, in your knee, in your back, then we have to move backwards. See, we have to get to where we can do this before we even think of doing anything like this on the floor. See that? So see how I'm turning into my toe, and I'm turning and I'm turning and I'm getting these hips moving in all the directions, but I'm using a chair to do it. Okay, I'm not ready to do that maybe in the floor. So this is when you need to start thinking, maybe I could get in the floor. Maybe if I had a soft landing to put my knee on, see, I could get in the floor. See that? See how easy that transition is? And I can hear you, all of you out there that are fun sized, you're like, oh yeah, that's easy for you to do, Jeannie. Because you have long legs. And I'm saying, yeah, but stay with me. Then see, I have this pad here. I have it right here. I'm gonna hang on to my chair. If I was fun size, I would have to move, you know, maybe adjust a little bit here and there. So just try it. Turn, put that knee down, come right off the edge of your chair, and then you can move your chair away. See? And then you can move your chair back. Put your little butt up there and turn. So I would say If you have had joints replaced, especially knee, it's scary when you start trying to do some things that joint just is not going to do it. So I'm saying, get really good. See how I'm lifting my butt here to come up? Okay, get good at that. And don't be hip hinge. If you need to bend, don't round. See, I'm coming here, everybody wants to round. So keep your keep your rib cage up. Get to where you can come right here easily. Then lift that butt, turn, and come right here. See, put that pad there if you need to. That's perfectly fine. Get really good at this move. And then you'll be able to come on down. See, I'm doing it with a pad. See, I move the chair out. And then I bring my other knee here. And I can be kneeling on the pad, which would be fine. But I'm telling you, getting up and getting down, you have to keep being able to do. And that's really what their aim is to get people to do that. I've had kids in their, my kids in class, teenagers, that couldn't do a lot of the movements because they've not been trained at all. Okay, so now I'm on all fours, okay? And now I can, again, use my chair if I need to. So if you're on all fours and you're on the pad, because it is much easier on your knees, good, good, good. That's where you start, okay? That will start getting your confidence back to get on those knees. From there, you're just gonna go, okay, what if I wanted to sit back? Okay, so I'm here to tell you that this one knee that's replaced ain't gonna sit back. It goes down that far. Now on this one, I can go way down. See, I can't do that over here. It's not gonna do it, or I will pop it out of there. That's the reality of joints replaced. So you approach this move. Do you see this? You don't do weirdo things. You get to where you can hip hinge and you push back into your feet as far as you can, and then you come up. After you do that, you bring one knee up this way, bring it down, bring one knee up this way, and you push your hips forward now. See how my chin's tucked? Excuse me. My chin is tucked. I'm pushing my hips forward to get that stretch. I'm not overdoing it. I have an anterior replacement. Some of you have posterior replacements, okay? So this motion, they encourage you to be careful with, but I'm doing it just as a really good a stretch to the back. And in order to get a nice stretch to the back, I don't have to overdo things. So see how I'm pushing forward? This is my knee replaced side, and it doesn't bother my knee at all. If it bothers your knee to be on the little balance pad, then of course you're going to be doing this from a standing position or sitting, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But you can do this, and you can do this. And this is a very important move to do. Okay? Then you're going to move the chair here, and you can stay on the pad or not. You come into hands and knees position. This is a very important position to do a lot of work from. On your hands and knees, and also lying. And we're going to lie down in just 1 second. So see, I'm right here. I'm going to take one leg back. I'm going to push into the heel. And then I'm going to release the opposite hand of the leg that I pushed back. See how my hand's up? Don't reach it all at once. Number one. Number two, do not lock your elbow. Okay? Keep your chin tucked. Your leg is back here. You're going to reach your hand up, and then you're going to bring that leg up. See that? Take a big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. Keep your elbow from locking. You can reach it out as far as you feel you want to go. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your chin tucked. Take a big breath. Keep your elbow from locking. Squeeze your gluteal. Hold it. Then you bring your hand down. Bring your leg down. And before you go to the other one, you want to push your butt back as far as you feel you can go. This is about as far as that knee will let me go. Okay, and that's okay. And then come back and then do it again. See, just see where your pathway is. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your ear over your shoulder. Your shoulder is in line with hip. Okay. See, no matter if I come down or up, my ear, shoulder, and hip is all in line. So after you do that a couple of times, you take your other leg back. You go into dorsiflexion with your foot. See, I'm not pointing my toe here, okay? Soften up your elbow, tighten up your tummy, drop your shoulders, and lift your hand just above the ground. And my balance on this knee and hip is a lot more iffy than the other one. So I may not go out with my hand. I may just keep it right here. Keep your tummy tight. Take big breaths. Through your nose. Drop your shoulders. Keep your elbows soft. Tight, tight, tight. Tight, tight, tight. Hold that up. Keep your gluteal really tight. Reach your hand out as far as you feel you can. Try to hold it out there 10 to 15 seconds. Bring it in. Bring it in. Drop your hips. Drop your elbows. Keep your chin tucked. Okie dokie. Take a big deep breath. Yes. And then come back. Okay? Now, I'm going to come off of the little pad because I'm going to sit. So I'm going to go from hands and knees, turn, and sit. Okay? Now, this is a process of learning how to move to get down and up. We used to do it effortlessly, correct? Well, things change. Anyway, so if you're struggling with sitting in the floor with your back extended, okay, even with my knees bent, and this is a struggle to sit here, then we've got to practice that. So we're going to turn to the side as if we were going to get up, but we don't. See, my knees are like, I know they've shown this, and you're supposed to come around and stand up all by yourself. Well, if I do that, I'm going to pop a joint out. Okay, but I'm getting the same muscle work right here. Okay, so sit in this position. Let yourself down. See, my knees are in this position. I'm going to let myself down where my shoulders are addressing the ground straight on. See that? And then I'm going to come up. Yeah, I'm turned. My chest is turned a little to the side, but my shoulders are coming down facing the ground. See how I'm just going to move into this position? I keep my shoulders down. I take a big breath in my nose. I push back up. And I'm going to get really good at doing that, but I'll only do 2 or 3 before I go to the other side. See, so you can't just sit in one position. So I'm going to turn to this side now, okay? And if you have replaced joints, here's my replaced knee, here's my replaced hip. I have a shoulder issue. I landed in the road after getting hit on my shoulder. So you're going to have issues. I'm keeping it, I'm addressing it and keeping it mobile. And that's what I'm trying to do with you today. I'm trying to make sense out of some of this stuff. And if this is difficult for you, you need to get in this position. Okay, and I'm gonna turn now and do the very same thing. So I'm really opening right here. Hip replace, knee replace, turn. My shoulders are facing the floor. I keep my shoulders down. I come down as far as I can. I push back up. And if you are on a ski slope, you may find yourself in this position. You better have the strength to get yourself up from this position, okay? And the best way to do it is to get in this position and practice it. So I'm right here. My joints are all moving in ranges that they can handle. Take a big breath. Bring your shoulders down. Come all the way down, all the way back. See that? Then I'm going to move to the side. Now we're going to use this position in just a minute to get ourselves back up. And I'm going to show you the procedure of how to do that. But before we do that, see, I'm going to turn myself here and I'm going to push against my couch here. Some of you have equipment in the room that you're in. If you don't, that's okay. Just keep them up. You can even push them into your weights if they are on the floor. So I'm pushing there. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm pushing here. I'm coming back. Okay. Now, some of you have wonkety backs, delicate backs. And a lot of it's because of poor posture through the years. Who knew? My feet are up is the point. They're in a dorsiflexion position. I want you to put your hands on your thighs and then just move your hands down, okay? And then come back. See that? So don't lock your knees. They're soft. They're just a tiny bit soft. Just a tiny bit soft. See, I can put my hands underneath them. See that? My toes are up. My rib cage is up. I'm hip hinging forward. I've seen this done and I don't encourage it. But people, athletes that are trying to stretch, they'll have somebody push on their back. But then I look at the athlete and he's got his back rounded. That's not going to help anything. That's the tight thing, which is through your gluteal, through your hamstring. Okay. So when you're in this position, your legs are definitely straight. They are not locked down. They're just a tiny bit bent. And then I go from sitting in an L position and I close that position. See that? And the minute that my back starts to round, and I'm sitting here like, oh, I got to touch my toes. And then you round your back. It doesn't help anything to do that. So knees are just softened. They're not bent. Toes are up. I'm going to go open until I feel this start to contract. Then I'm going to close the L. I'm going to come down with my hands as far as I feel I can, but I am not rounding my back. And I'm going to reach down there and see if I can pull on those toes. If I can't, I'm just going to grab wherever I can. The knee, mid-calf, ankle, ankle's fine, and just give a good pull. And you'll feel this under here, but you won't hurt your back. The only way you're going to hurt your back if you take it out of an extension. Okay, so I hope you heard me on this. This is a great way to see where you're at with your hamstring flex. Okay, the ability of your hamstrings to be more flexible. And why do you want that? So you can move better, that's why. Okay, take a big breath. After I've done my little test there, see, I'm gonna roll all the way over. So that was a very good way to get yourself in a prone position. Okay, now I'm not done. I'm going to continue the roll. I'm going to push, keep my legs pretty straight, and go all the way over. So you might get dizzy if you do this too quickly. So don't do it too quickly. So see how my feet are here? And I can flex now. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, plantar extension. See? Extend, flex. That's a good way to do that. This is up. I'm going to open. I'm going to roll. And then I'm going to turn and roll. See that? What we're doing right now, don't diminish it and think it's a nothing move. This is locomotion. This is getting you to orient everything in your brain, everything in your body. You're trying to see if you can actually maneuver yourself from a supine position or an upright to a prone position and still live to tell about it. You see what I'm doing? So anybody that's planning hiking trips, skiing trips, scuba diving trips, you better be able to do these kinds of maneuvers, okay? This is where you start. And see, if you start working on this, you don't have very far to fall because you're already on the floor. But as you're doing this and you're pulling yourself, you're using every kind of core muscle. You're using your backs, you're using your shoulders, you're using your legs, okay? So do it several times. You know, try to get in the floor and roll around, 6 to 10 times. So see how I'm gonna come here? I'm coming down into my elbows. I'm coming back. I'm coming up. Yeah, and then you can try it laying down even. How would you do that? This is a maneuver in gymnastics, actually. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to roll and I'm going to lay down. Okay. So I've already gone from side to side and now I'm down. Okay. Right here. This is the position that in many osteoporosis preventative or management programs, I should say management, let's say you already have osteoporosis. You drop your shoulders, number one. Get yourself so that you can do push against like something and flex and push. So this next one is called an L stretch, which will help you do all the stuff that I'm trying to work through with you. So I have one foot down and it's in dorsiflexion. My shoulders are definitely down. I'm going to bring this knee in, all the way in. If I cannot bring this knee in all the way, I will bend my knee and bring it in, okay? Then I'll try to get my leg down there. Then I'm going to come up into an L position. This is a very valuable move. This helps to reposition everything in your lower back and in your pelvic regions. Okie dokie, drop your shoulders. Palms are down. Take a big breath through your nose. If you can't bring that leg up, keep it soft. Do not try to extend it out here. That's a cheater move. And I know I have slugs on here today, but I know you don't want to cheat, right? So bend your knee and bring the knee in first. This leg here is straight. Don't let the toes go out or in. Bring it up. And if you're having trouble letting the foot stay straight, that's where you start working. Drop your shoulders. Take a big breath through the nose. Bring the knee in. Come over, all the way over your midline. Keep your arms out here. Come all the way over. Keep your shoulders down. This shoulder is going to want to come up. Don't let that little sucker come up, okay? Keep the shoulder down. Reach. And then if you want to straighten your leg, you can. You don't have to. And then you bring the knee bent and you come up. back to center, and then go back into that L stretch. Do it the best as you can, then bring it down, okay? Realign. Keep your chin tucked. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. Okay, you ready? You bring your knee in. Keep your foot down here in dorsiflexion. Keep it heading up. Don't let it drift out to the side. Some of you have a really hard want to drift. Don't let it drift. Keep your knee in. And then once the knee is over the belly button, then you work on straightening it just as much as you feel you can. See, my foot's in dorsiflexion. Take a big deep breath. Go all the way up. If you can. If you can't, don't sweat it. Just keep it here and then release it. And then try it again. Keep your knee over your belly is the point. Don't try to straighten it out here. That's not going to help you with your hamstring issues. Try to stretch it. Try to take it up with your knee over your belly button. Okay? And just work on that. So I'm much tighter on this side because of my knee replacement. And I just have to work at it. That's all. Take a big deep breath. You hang it out here. You can do ankle circles. You can do all kinds of stuff like that. Keep your shoulders down. Big breath. And yeah, you can bring it on in if you feel you can. But again, keep your shoulders down and work at the bending and straightening. Keep the knee over the belly button no matter what. Okay? Then bend the knee to here. Now you're going to cross your midline. Are you ready? Shoulders down, hands down, rotate, bring that knee all the way over as far as you feel you can. You don't have to straighten the leg if you don't want to. Keep the knee right at the 90 degree, right here. See that? So you're hanging out down here. Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders. Another big deep breath through the nose. Okay, hang out there for like 5 to 10 seconds. Then you're going to gently pull it up right to here again, and then check it. See if that helps. Do your ankle circling. Okay, this is something that anybody that struggles with an Achilles tendon problem, plantar fasciitis problem need to be doing. And when you're doing it in this way, you're helping to reposition and realign all of your back and your hips, okay? Then bend the knee and bring it down. Now you're ready to do the very important hip lifting, but it's not a mindless kind of a thing. You got to really engage. And here is where this might help. So if you bring your little balance pad and put it under your heels, then it's going to grip, and you can squeeze here and start to move through the pelvic. See this? So you're going to squeeze and you're going to lift from one vertebrae to the next until you get all the way up here. And see, I'm pushing into my heels. Take a big deep breath. And then I'm going to come from the top, because that makes you move your spine in every way that it can in a healthy way. You're going to bring the small of the back down, and the very last thing to go down is your coccyx or your tailbone. Then you push your hips up. You push your lower back up so that you can get like a little toy car under it. Then you rotate, you do it again. See how I'm rotating? I'm squeezing, keeping your hands down. This is a good time to try to inch your arms up over your head. Okay, so I have a little trick shoulder, and I'll tell you, this is a really good time to try to get that movement through your shoulder without hurting it. So now I'm all the way up on the top of my shoulders. But as I come down, I want to go one vertebrae at a time. So I have to really use my whole core in order to do that, because you're going to be tempted to put your butt down first and just go boom, 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 boom. No. It's like your spine is a string of pearls. Okay, we're going to do this 3 times because I'm doing it very methodically, because I want you to do it the correct way to get the benefit from it. So now I'm squeezing my butt, pushing into my heels, both of your heels, squeezing. You're coming up one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way up, and you're really going to hang out there. Take a big deep breath. And then I'm going to come down one vertebrae at a time. One vertebrae at a time. Get the small of the back down first. Then go to the coccyx. Okay, and then you can relax your toes. So this is a good one on to remember, because this one really targets the hamstring and the gluteal, and you can put your leg weights on top right here and turn it into a real strength training move. I'm doing it more as a mobility skill today, but you can get to where you can really do 3 sets of 10 of this. I'm doing it as a mobility skill, so I'm doing only about 3 or 4 of them. So after you've done that and you've really moved your spine, then you're going to move your spine again. And how are you going to do that? You're going to bring your knee in. You're going to bring your other knee in. You're going to just check with me to see where your hamstring flexibility is. Is it here? Is it here? Is it worse on one leg than the other? Drop your shoulders, breath through your nose. Your feet are in dorsiflexion. Your knees are over your belly button. And you're going to bring those legs up as far as you can to a straight position. Okay? Do not bring your hips off the ground. Okay? You want to push down right here. If you bring your legs in, don't let your hips come off the ground. Push down and then come back. So that's a good test of your flexibility with your hamstrings right here. Okay? And this is just a little, you can call it a flutter kick. I'm just calling it a push. See, I'm just pushing back and forth. Now I'm ready to roll to the side, roll to the side, roll to the side. And I'm here in this nice bent position right here. See that? You can open them. If it's difficult for you to be in this position, then open them. Okay? Take a big deep breath. I'm going to go this way and act like I'm going to get up. Okay? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to act like I'm going to get up. And so what does that make me do? For some of you, you're going to be a little worried because it's going to make you go into your knees. And this is where, if you need to use this, you can put it under your knee here, if that helps. Okay? So,
Jeannie,
yes.
it's 10:36 and I have to leave at 10:40 to deliver Reese.
Oh,
I know
shoot.
we're having fun, but I gotta leave.
I haven't looked at thanks for telling me.
Okay, I'll see you Friday. Okay.
Okay. All right, you guys, we'll end up. I'm just going to the next position and we'll start here. But anyway, see here? I'm going to act like I'm going to get up. Then I'm going to come here and I'm either going to go back to my chair and I'm going to get myself up, or I'm going to come here and come into my feet, and then I'm going to come up. I'm glad she told me. I should have had my phone down here. Oh, when you're having fun. When you're having fun. Okay. I hope you got up from that. I'm going to take off the record.